I did not think this was gonna happen today.
Oh my goodness, I pressed the wrong button. And I have my glasses on my switchboard. Oh my god, it's a disaster. What's going on, everybody? Which button? I always forget which button goes to my camera. I don't even know. We'll just go straight to here. Because like, I think it's this one. But like, I kind of need to fix up my shit because I'm in a weird spot. Oh, I can see the ground, but I can't hear. Hey, hello, Mordechai, Melis, and EMS. You have appeared. Welcome, welcome. We are working. We are ready to work. We are ready to continue working. Blue to Bird, welcome to the stream. How are you? We are going to turn down the music just a little bit. Where's Kevin? Kevin McLeod. I feel like we're just gonna go and add that to the playlist and then just... It's gonna go Airport Lounge. Yeah, we'll go with that. All right, doggy dog. We got the Angel Cam. We got the new layout. I finished the layout. I sort of had like a prototype layout last weekend, but now I actually jumped into GIMP and made a layout that matches Godot and looks like Godot. So that's pretty cool, right? What game are we making again? We are making something. It's very early days. So we made the zombie game, right, for the game jam, and we lost, which is fine because that happens, right? But it means I have to basically start from scratch because I can't use the assets from that pack, which once again, totally fine. But if I'm gonna not use those, I'm gonna start from fresh. We're gonna try to make something similar, but I want to focus more on sort of like the upgrades you can get, how you get them, because in the game jam it was very much like you just dinged, you leveled up, and then you got thrown in the face of you know, upgrades. Vibing Game Dev, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Welcome back. So we've got a lot to sort of work up to, and obviously because it isn't a game jam, we can go a lot slower, which is good. Because I'm slow. I'm an idiot. And did you know how to save the data? Did I work that out? No, well, it's still on hold because like I can save the data, but it's not how you're meant to do it. So we'll work on something, but I got sort of like lost in the weeds and I was like, man, I'm gonna spend ages on this. I just want to work on like upgrades because that's what I'm focusing on now. How about money instead of levels? Maybe. We'll see how the player acquires them. I kind of like looting them. I don't know. We'll see. I need to play some example games at some point and sort of test out how people sort of distribute this stuff out. All right. I made this really big, so hopefully it's easier to read. We don't need that second preview. All right, so how did I lose the game jam? It just happens. It's something people vote for, and if I lose, I lose, you know? The game that won was very deserving of it, so, you know, that's good. Right now, we've got a regular gun, and this is sort of what we're working on. We've got a laser sight attached here, and we want to be able to equip anything we want, say a scope, for example. And if we want to go back to laser sight, we can. So that as sort of upgrades that you can acquire, who knows, things that you can get in the game, things you can add to your weapon, and all the different kinds of weapons. That's what we've been working towards. And last stream we made really good progress. So now I have a drop down box and I can choose between these two. Obviously at some point we'll have to have a way of distributing these to the player rather than just having them shown up here. But today I wanted to work on adding different kinds of attachments to the weapon, right? Did you add wall run, shove, and parry? We're months away from that. We're going to be spending the next couple of weeks on upgrades, and then movement will probably be way later in the game, because I'm very confident in movement. I could add that in pretty easily. I've spent most of the time like on movement like a couple of years ago, a lot of time on movement, so it's not hard for me to do. And I'm a little bit more interested in making the weapons more interesting. We can add wall run pretty easily. We've got sprint, we've got all the different other movements that you can do, so we can do that, but later. And parry, I don't know, that might be hard. We'll see. But for now, we have to create a new attachment, which is pretty funny. I had Godot open and ready to go, but I'm actually gonna need Blender. So how do I get to there? Give me Blender. I don't think I saved the file that I was working on, so I'm gonna have to just start from fresh. There we go. Open recent? No, recent files, yeah, I thought so. So all of that out the window. FPS controller, player controller, scripts, weapon models, no items. Where is this file? This is the wrong Isaac. Hang on a second. I'm getting lost. So we've got I'm looking for the AK, by the way. Oh, not the AK, it was an M4. Can you make the camera move when the player shoots? Yeah. I've done that before. That's easy. We can do that. In fact, I won't even need to. I just bring in a better player character. So, but I'm using the simple one just because it's easy to work with when you're prototyping. Weapon models? Blaster A, M4A. This is it. This is the file. I have to import it. That's why I can't open it, because there's no blend. Yeah, of course. Open. No, not open. I literally just said I can't do that. Let's delete all of this. File, import. I think it's in OBJ. Yeah. Weapon models. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there we are. Awesome. Gun idea. A gun that shoots bouncing bullets. That's cool. Like little rubber bullets. All right, so this is the model that I want to bring in. I've got two here, so I can do the same exact thing as before. I just need to sort of massage them a little bit. Did you already do a pistol or secondaries? Nah, way behind. I think you guys don't know that I'm actually really slow. Okay, so view selected. Excuse me. View selected. Thank you. A little bit too close, but you know, better. So what we need to do is actually set the origin of this. So how we do this, when you like add an attachment, it's basically just a mesh. It's all just like an illusion. It's not really like you're adding anything to the weapon itself. You are adding a picture that represents something. I'm actually going to use these ones here. So it really is just a matter of grabbing this mesh, exporting it with the correct normals, not normals, origins so that we can place it properly when we bring it in. And then it's just going to be a resource, right? So I got that. So I'm going to go object, set origin to 3D cursor. And so the origin for that object is now at that point. So when we spawn it in, it will appear. If we say like appear at this point, that's where it's going to set the object up. So we can basically add a node to the rail here at the bottom of the weapon, and it'll just appear there, which is nice. Later on, we'll have to change it to bones, but we'll worry about that later. Well, we'll need to, yeah, anyway, don't worry about it. All right, let's zero at 0, 0, 0. Rotation is okay, we'll keep that. And what we do is just select that object and we just export it as a GLTF. And we just want to go include selected objects. And then we want to navigate to the project, which is FPS controller, player controller, weapon models, spawnable objects, weapons, no. Where is this stuff? I've set up a file, like a directory for it. Why can't I grab this? My controller. Hang on a second. I can never find anything. Do you know the attachment where it appears on the side of the gun and helps you shoot, like a laser? Make an animation when you add the attachment. Yeah, we'll do all that stuff at some point. Upgrade resources. Is it? Where is this located? Oh, I guess it's just, okay, maybe. Holographic site. Upgrade weapon models, upgrade meshes. Weapon models. There is nothing. Am I in the wrong directory? Why do you do this to me? I can never, like, Godot for FPS template. Hey, she's having a bit of a move around. Yeah, I don't know. She's a bit suspicious of the tripod that's sitting there. But overall, it's winter, so she's a little bit cold, and she likes to use the blanket. It's funny, you give her the blanket, and she'll just bunch it up and use it as a pillow to hide her face from the light. Silly girl. She's on the move. Okay, so I know the directory now, so now I need to go to... The thing is, I've got too many projects called FPS controller. It's actually this one here. Weapon models, upgrade meshes. I don't know what this is called. We'll just go hand grip 1. I'll eventually have to work out what the name is. Add a silencer? Yeah, that's definitely one that we're going to need to add. Yeah, we'll need to add a silencer. We've got one here. So I'm doing grips today for whatever reason. I just decided that's what I wanted to do. Silencer, it's not going to make a difference because there's no sound in the game yet. Like, those mechanics don't exist, so it's hard for me to manipulate them. You know what I mean? Like, you would need some sort of mechanics where the enemies don't respond to the sound. Like, there's a sound thingo, magazine attachments, yeah, all that kind of stuff. Basically, the goal is to create something that can add anything. So I want to make a system that where we can get it to a point where we can go, yeah, we can create that, no problem. If you know what I'm saying. I need to be consistent in the points that I choose. Why can't I find this? So I think it was these outside points. Oh, I can't get there. What the hell? Blender. It's not on the same line. It's that one there. I think it needs to be this one. Yeah, that looks good. Cursor to selected. All right, so, and then we can go object, set origin, geometry, origin to 3D cursor. Right, texture or gameplay? What do you mean? I don't understand the question. Add a magazine to texture. It's going to be gameplay related. I think if we're talking about the attachments, they are definitely going to affect gameplay. Okay, cool. So we can just reset the location to 000, and we can export that as well. It's got like everything. This pack is so good. Okay, let's export as a GLTF. GLTF. And I guess it's just going to be hand grip 2. I don't really know. The challenging part is going to be how to like actually change the spray of the weapon, because it's fairly like nested property. So it'll be interesting. Export GLTF hand grip 2. I guess the option will be to just like completely replace the spray profile. So I have a way of handling spray in the game that you can make different sprays, but like the question is sort of like, how do we then pass that on when you've added this? Okay, so we've got those in the project. So we can get back to the project, and now it's going to import all of that. So we've got a site. See these nodes? We can basically add another node. We can duplicate this one, and we can call it hand grip. How about the NPCs? Do we have any ideas? Aside from them being non-human creatures, I guess, like zombies, maybe it's aliens. I don't really know. Robots even. Like now that it's not zombies, right? It can be anything. But I will probably decide that probably later. Like it'll be later. It needs to be something simple that I can either make or pay somebody to make something that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg. So we'll see. Where's that located? Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's all right, mate. Let's bring in one of the options. So I kept having to make hand grip 1. Just add it as a child of that, and see how it's just like automatically there. I think it could move up a little bit, honestly. Like, and maybe a little bit further out. We could even give the player the ability to change the location. Not that, like, that would mostly be a cosmetic thing. Like, there'd be no reason. It can be Beastman's. It could be. Honestly, it could be anything we want. I like robots a lot. But because AI is like in right now, it just depends. I mean, it's probably going to take me a very long time to fully develop. So who knows? Okay. So now that we've got the hand grip located, we've got the models. It's really not that much extra work. We've got a system in place already. So we can create upgrades, right? So we've got site upgrades. We don't have hand grip upgrades, right? We need to create a new script, and it needs to derive from this one here. It's not very readable. So it needs to derive from weapon upgrades. So we've got armor upgrades. We need to create a new one. All right, me and EMS gonna go. Have a good one, guys. I'll talk to you later. So it's going to be grip. I like how I put ammo in here already, and I didn't even know what it could be. I think I was just spitballing. Ammo upgrade, grip. Oh my god. Mouse is all over the place. I mean, not the mouse, the keyboard. Okay, so we've got an upgrade type. We've got an upgrade name. We'll probably need some additional signals. Realistically, those could probably be moved to site, but we'll worry about that later. Okay, upgrade resource. Well, actually, we have to create a new script. And it's going to be probably, I guess it's going to be called grip upgrades, I guess. We'll roll with that. All right. Grip. Upgrade. And it's going to inherit from upgrade. No, it's weapon upgrades. Okay. Create. Windows, what you doing? Okay, give it a class name. It'll be a grip upgrade. Right now we're in easy mode because there's not much to do. Grip upgrade. So, what am I gonna need to do? Let's take a look at the site one. So it was just a lot. We need the upgrade mesh. We need the bone location. Those really probably could be in the upgrade, in the weapon upgrade as well. Or not. It's going to be present for a lot of different upgrades, but it's going to be not present for others. It's not going to be necessary for all of them. Today. And some of these I'm not even using. So let's have a look at a laser sight, for example. So we've got, I can't move it. All right, that's as far as it goes. Okay. Maybe I don't need to use 150% zoom. Okay, so we've got the bone location and the bone. I think this is the path. It is. So there's a lot of other things that we're not really using at the moment. Bone location seems to be one of them. Like I've written in here site, but at the end of the day, I never needed that. I just got the path. So bone location can probably go because we can provide a path, which is much more efficient. Upgrade variable, I guess we'll keep for now. We might not need it in site. If there is an improvement to a variable, we'll see. Animation and release animation, we don't have anything like that yet, but we will work on that at some point. So I guess we'll leave it as is for now. So let's go to the upgrade mesh and we'll yoink these to the grip upgrade, which is basically all we need to get it on the weapon. And then I'm going to need to know how to change the spray, because that's the main thing. Maybe like export our spray profile. So I'm thinking that the easiest way for me to affect the performance of the spray is just to provide a new spray profile. It's pretty easy to make one, and we just need to be aware of how we do spray. I think it's much more sensible so the M4A1 in this particular project has a very like Counter-Strike-esque spray pattern at the moment. But for the kind of game that I'm making, it's not really something that I'm going to want to put in because this isn't going to be a competitive FPS shooter game. So having a spray pattern is probably not desirable. Having randomized spray is probably something more realistic to give players to work with. And that is to say, the longer they press the button down, the wider the spray is. So I think that's probably a better choice. I might change that now. And then it's going to be much easier for me to just put in a new spray profile. So here's how the spray profiles work, if you didn't know already. Oh, it's very small. Here we go. So we can zoom into this. Basically, it follows a path if we want it to. We can actually remove that and just have it be random. So I think this is just random noise. It doesn't have a spray path and it doesn't have a multiplier. It's just random spray. So spray profile 2 is probably the one we want to start with. And I might even rename that, although it's not 4.3 yet. So maybe it's not the best idea to rename that. I might make a copy, duplicate, and just call it random spray. Right. And we'll open up random spray, close spray profile 2, profile 1. So we've got random spray. There's not anything to see. It's just, you know, a bit of noise and some random spray. But these levels, this random spray can be tuned or like brought down a little bit. And, you know, we can use that to sort of give the players a feeling of more control. So we can make this something like 4. And then when you equip the grip, perhaps it goes down a little bit. Or up. So it might reduce the random spray by a certain percentage. We could attack it that way, which is probably the best way to go. You could probably even get that to work with the spray profile 1. There is randomness here, random 1. But you can never, and I guess you could reduce the multiplier and the mix. Like there's other ways to get to it. So how it works is basically a 1 means that both random spray and path spray are both affecting the way the bullet moves altogether. But if you reduce the spray mix down to half, then I'm pretty sure less of it is affected by the spray profile. I'm actually not, maybe I better check that. I'm not going to use it anyway, but I would like to know if it's possible to affect in some way. So where's the script? What does the mix do? Spray mix. So it's spray vector plus random spray times spray mix. So spray mix really just affects the random spray. It doesn't really affect the spray vector. I could probably, the path spray multiplier is the thing that you really want to change. So that's, if you wanted to bring this down, you bring this number here down. So I guess it really just depends what variable you want to affect, which comes back to the upgrade script. We go for grip upgrade. So we could provide a spray profile, but we could also do the same thing as the side upgrade here, where we've got a variable name and a variable value int. Now this can work if we, instead of a variable name, we give it a path, and it's going to be relative to the weapon manager script. So we just need to tell it what to change based on that. Now I did this in the Game Jam game, and it worked pretty well. So if we knew what to do there, then we could do it pretty easily. But it might be better if we have a callable, since we're doing something a little bit more dedicated. So the dog is snoring. You guys can't hear it, but I know it is. Angel is snoring. But I mean, of course, she's all crunched up. Anyway, I can't zoom in here. I don't think I have Angel Cam set up yet. Hang on a second. Oh, I guess I have to switch to it in order to like add a Droid Cam OBS, add existing. I don't know if I can make it bigger without affecting the other one, right? Like if I do this, it like affects, oh no, it doesn't affect that. She's snoring. Can't really tell because I don't think sound folds through. Oh well. I should add chat to that screen so we can watch Angel snore together. Anyway, enough getting distracted. Okay, so we've got a upgrade. We probably... What we can do... Grip upgrade. we could create a callable. And if we know that they're only going to be affecting the multiplier, then it's a lot easier to work with. We can just pass in like an amount that we want to reduce it by, like a percentage amount. So they work from 0 to 1, right? So it'll like before you could say that you want to reduce it by 50%. So you could just pass a number between 100, 0 to 100. And that would be it. It'd be a lot easier to work with, I think. So we could create a function in the spray profile, and we could call that function. And I think that would work. I guess the question is like, what's going to happen when you're like loading, because saving and loading, which is the question that I was worried about to begin with. I guess you just like initialize everything when you start, and it'll call that function and reduce the amount of spray. It only gets loaded up one time, the spray profile, I mean. This is important, guys, I promise. In the weapon state machine, we have initialize, right? And we initialize a weapon when we equip it. Sorry, when we pick it up. So it's really on the entry or when you pick up the weapon. And if the weapon has an upgrade on it, it's going to call this initialize upgrades. So, it'll be okay. It would work because we're going to so first we add the spray profile if it has one, and we add that to the scene. And then we also initialize the upgrades. And so then it'll be okay. So we can just have a callable and call that function after the fact. So we can go back to the spray profile, and we can create a function. I guess we call it like update spray profile. And it's really just going to take a reduction amount. Even an amount, really. It'd be a float. Because like we could also introduce effects that make it worse, right? So if you don't know about my spray, I do have a video on how this all works on my channel, but essentially, obviously over time as you shoot, the spray gets worse, but it's based on a random amount. So we've got the random spray multiplier. So if that number goes up, the spray gets worse. It doesn't change how much it gets worse over time. That's just controlled by the amount of shooting you do. But it will definitely reduce. So if you had that set to 4 and then you changed it to 2, you're going to halve the amplitude of the spray. So that is the variable that we can target. And how we want to do this, probably need a base random and then like a multiplier. You know what I'm trying to say. We need the base variable never needs to change because we ran into this problem last time when it came to improvements because it was exponential. We only want to change it one time or change it from the base. So how we do that? Infinity, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How are you? We could create a variable and we could probably get that like a reduction amount. We could probably create a variable called spray multiplier variable spray multiplier what are we going to call it? I'm so bad at naming variables. Oh my god. Spray multiplier stat change. That's such a terrible name. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's not going to be visible. It's a float. It's equal to 1. I guess percentage increases are what we're going to roll with here. We're not going to go like reduces it by. Or we could. We could say like, oh, this grip reduces the spray by like 0.5. But then it can't be, yeah, percentage is probably better. So it'll start at 100. And we can go up or down depending on what's happening in the game. And so basically, this is just going to get set to the amount. Actually, yeah, we'll set it to the amount. Right? And then here, we just need to update the amount. So I'll probably create a function called get spray multiplier. And it's going to pass in a current spray. Multiplier. Current spray. Yeah, multiplier. It's a float, and this actually returns a float. Right. So basically, we're going to go var new multiplier. I'm just going to call it new multi. It's obviously a float, and it's equal to current spray multiplier, and it will be. So let's do percentages. So if this was 70%, say we change this from 1 to 0.7, we would want to take off. So it's divided by 1 point whatever. Gotta be careful with percentages. Or we could just do it like the verbose way, I guess you would call it, and just go current spray multiplier multiplied by amount, spray multiplier stat change. So then it would be like the 1 minus, and then we return that. Something like that. Right, so if this was 4 and the multiplier was to reduce it by half, was to halve it, we would go 1 minus 0.5, which would be 0.5, which would halve it, and then we'd subtract it from the current one. I think my math's okay here. I'm much better in a spreadsheet, which is pretty funny. I could do this no problems. I do this every day. Okay, so that should work. And then instead of calling that, we can just type get spray multiplier and pass in the, what is it called? Path spray multiplier. Okay, let's just run. Nothing should have changed because that's going to be equal to 1 by default. So it looks pretty much the same to me. Let's go ahead and make the M4A1 have a random spray instead of a path spray. It's not very nice to look at, is it? I don't like this. The fact that I can't make this any bigger. I might change the scaling to 125 like it was last time. I think it's still a little bit too small for the way that I've changed the layout of the screen, but it should be okay. Edit to layout. Editor settings. Change it back to that. Save and restart. Oop. Awesome. Now I can read it. Hopefully you guys can too. So we're going to have weapon. And now you can open it way wider. Oh, it's so weird. Laser sight. No, we wanted to go to the spray profile. Random spray. See how that looks. Much better. Right. Cool. Now that we've got that, we can go back to working on the grip. Grip upgrade. All right, so we've got a bone location, we've got an upgrade mesh, and then realistically, we're just going to have an export variable called spray reduction amount, right? And it's just going to be a float. And we could probably make this a range, right? Export range 0.101 to 0.99. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can probably create a new resource called grip upgrade. And I'm not very imaginative, so I'm just going to call this grip upgrade number 1. All right, grip upgrade number 1. Where are you? Okay, so the upgrade mesh. Now we've seen that. We've got it here, hand grip 1. Right, bone location. This should be a node path. Site upgrade. I wanted this one, bone. And also I'm just realizing that this is sort of nested in the upgrades, but the bone location and the upgrade mesh are, I think, assumed. I need to make sure that I'm putting in a method of checking whether or not these exist and skipping if they don't when I initialize, because I think I'm not going to have them for everything. Some upgrades are going to be like not seen on the weapon, you know, like the kind of ammo that you use might not be visible. Maybe it will be. Who knows? I don't know yet. But we will jump back into the weapon manager now. Oh, actually, I wasn't finished fixing the grip upgrade 1. It's going to be the hand grip. We set this up like half an hour ago. Alrighty. So now we've got the path, the mount. Let's do something really drastic, like let's make it 0.01. The upgrade name, it can just be called hand grip 1, and we also need to specify that it is a grip upgrade. Okay. Alrighty, so now we can jump back into this. So how they work currently, let's go right down to the bottom. On option button, equip upgrades. This comes from the UI, and it passes in a weapon upgrade, and it looks in the current weapon slot weapon, and it looks for the upgrade type. So we've got some additional work to do that I forgot, where we look for the upgrade type. And so on the weapon resource, we actually need to add a weapon type. So we go export bar grip upgrade. And this needs to be of type grip upgrade. Now, this is important. This needs to be the same as the weapon upgrade. Weapon upgrade? I don't know what this is. Side upgrade. I need to check that other script. Anyway, it needs to be the same as this. That's super important because without that, it doesn't have a way of knowing where to go. So that needs to be identical to the name of the variable under the weapon upgrade, grip upgrade, right? That's just how we're doing it. It's not the safest way, but it's pretty good. I could use the class as well to validate, but it's easier to do it this way. So we are. Because get index is just too powerful. Okay, so now we have a grip upgrade. We can upgrade. Ali 32-bit, how are you? Welcome to the stream. How you doing? All right. So we've got the side upgrade, grip upgrade. All right. So now we can go back to the weapon state machine, and this will work. That's going to validate totally fine. Oh, I've got my notifications turned on. I shouldn't have those. Prosto Cotlio, welcome to the stream. Welcome back. How are you? Hang on a second. Got an important message. Okay. Right. Oh, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're alive? Me too. Barely, but I am there. Welcome back to my recommended page. I only missed 45 minutes this time. That's good. The more you interact, the more it will be recommended. So don't forget to like. It's okay, let's have a look at uninitialize. I don't think I'm checking to see if the upgrade exists, right? So I probably need to check at some point. Let's get back down to the bottom. So upgrade to change. It's checking to see if it exists, right? If it's null, then we don't need to do anything else. We don't need to uninitialize the upgrade. Now, I don't think it seemed to work when there wasn't one equipped. So maybe it's fine, but at the same time, I am noticing that there is a site on there. So I've got the problem that I was messing around with saving data. I don't know. Project list, quit to project, open user data folder, save data. There is saved weapons here, so I'm going to delete them. Let's see how we go there. It still shows up with the site, and it really shouldn't. Like, I'm pretty sure if I run this and I go to remote, world, player, camera, main camera, weapon manager, I get all the way down here to find the bullet point. No, we want to find the weapon stack. We find the weapon. Within the weapon, we find this. And there is a side upgrade there, so I'm going to remove that. I just want to see how it behaves. Should have probably checked that before I went to all that effort. And see, yeah, I thought so. There's assumed things. So if the slot is null, so if not slot, sounds weird. If not slot, then do the thing, right? And same with uninitialized, I think, as well. If not upgrade. Right? Let's try that. okay. It definitely runs a lot better. Right click obviously doesn't work, which is great. And the weapon looks very bare. And so if I choose, yeah, okay, we got another crash. It doesn't care because we are passing in a null. What are we passing in? Upgrade is null. I should be checking if upgrade. Okay, so it didn't crash, but it's not happy. Let's try that again. It crashed the second time. I just want to see what errors I get. We got 9, and then we go to laser scope. It didn't seem to do anything, but when I go to laser sight, it says can't call queue free in base null instance on a null instance. So we've got some problems with our code here that I didn't pick up last time. Remove upgrade, right? Because upgrade, there is an upgrade, but it never got set properly. So let's have a look at the code again. Set indexed. Current weapon slot plus upgrade type. Did I really not get any errors? I got a bunch of like annoying things saying like active is never used in the function on weapon as. Anyway, uninitialized upgrade, attempt to disconnect non-existent connection. Remove upgrade, out of bounds. Yeah, because it doesn't exist. But it never actually like had an error. I don't know, man. It's weird. I think I could perhaps avoid this. If I go back to uninitialize upgrade, and maybe I just don't do a check, but also if this returns null, then return. So if not, I'm just going to do it the fast way because I can't be bothered. Upgrade to change. Signals don't crash the game, so you sometimes miss something. Yeah, the signal is fine. It was trying to disconnect a non-existent signal because there wasn't an upgrade attached. And where it crashed is when it was trying to queue free the mesh of the upgrade. It just sort of threw an error. What is it? Like a warning when you try to disconnect a, if not upgrade, return. And I'm kind of curious because I'm not getting a lot of information back. Just to print out the upgrade. I'm pretty sure it's going to return null if it's not, if there's nothing there, right? Run again. It does return null. But nothing happened. Yeah, I should probably do that. The problem is it's not getting added, so if we go to remote, that's a good idea. I should probably do that once I figure out what this bug is. Camera, lean pivot, weapon manager, weapon stack. So it just doesn't have one. You know why? This is a problem here because I should really just go if upgrade to change. Because I only need to uninitialize when there is something in that slot. If there's nothing in that slot and I am calling this function, what I need to do is set the index and initialize the upgrade. But I only need to uninitialize if I'm removing something. Okay. Still not working. And obviously it's going to crash on the second time around. And we know why, so that's not really that interesting. Because it doesn't exist. Now, why not getting added? You were working before. Is it specific to that? What if I try to add a sight, a laser sight? I can't change off it. Interesting. I am getting an upgrade from it, I'm assuming. Just double check that. Yeah, I'm getting the resource. It's just not getting added. Is the path is null both times. Upgrade type. Did that get messed up? Laser sight. Upgrade type, site upgrade. Scope. It's a site upgrade. And my foolproof method of making sure that they get assigned properly is not foolproof. Although interestingly, if I add one, I think I'm good. Like if the variable doesn't exist, it's actually a bit of an issue for me. Oh, it's just not displaying them. I've broken it, bro. I've broken it. I think player character, go back to the script. It must be because of the check that I did here where I'm checking if not slot. I really should be doing if slot. How silly of me. Well, you know, at least I found it within half an hour or less than. I've been sitting here for 2 hours on stream before trying to figure stuff out. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. But we'll crash, even though slot's null, right? Slot is an object. Ah. Right. Weapon slot. I need to check. I mean, it's good to check that that's actually got a slot, but really I should be checking dot current weapon dot weapon dot Interesting. What should I do? The problem, we don't really want to connect the signals if they don't exist, but I'm dealing with 2 now. So like I can check to see if there's a site upgrade, but I don't want to check to see if like 6 or 8 or 10, I don't know how many upgrades I'm going to make for a weapon. I don't want to check every single variable. I'm going to need to create an array. The problem is with resources is making an array by code is kind of annoying. See, I've got a dictionary here that I was going to play around with to see how I can get that information quickly and easily. And I think I'm definitely going to need something like this in order to be able to tell. I just need something to loop through. It doesn't need to be a dictionary. Being a dictionary could be a lot easier because then I don't need to use set index either. Just need to expand this for every single upgrade. It could honestly be, you can check if the node has signals if you also use an array in the if statement. Yeah. The signal isn't really the issue though. What I really need to check right now, okay, so this function, connecting a signal that doesn't, on an object that doesn't exist, I don't think it might throw an error. Actually, well, it is throwing an error, but the issue is really not just even that. This function here, where I basically add the upgrade, I'm trying to like add a pack scene and instantiate a node here. So I definitely need to be able to tell if it exists within the weapon, and I don't want to check through every single one. So I do need to create something to help me find that. And I think it's going to be a dictionary. I mean, I don't want to loop through every single item, but I can. GWiz told me I shouldn't loop through dictionaries. Is he correct? He does have a degree and I don't. So he's automatically better than me at this. But I want to loop through this. Does anyone here have a computer science degree? So for it's going to be like, well, I should just get it'd be a lot cleaner if I go var upgrade slots equals slot. Making an array would be faster because you can use the find function to check if the upgrade exists on a list. Yeah, that's true. They will always exist. I could use the type to check as well. Like that's the thing, like I can use the type because I've created classes, so I can just go like find of type. I think that would work, right? Slot weapon dot upgrade. I think it's just called upgrades, eh? Weapon resource upgrades. Yeah, let's make it an array. And if we need to change it to a dictionary, honestly, switching between dictionaries and arrays is not that hard. So it'll be an array of weapon upgrades. And it's going to be equal to. And then I can also generate this. If I need a dictionary, I can actually generate it via code. Give me that. Been having moments where I just don't feel very smart lately. Writing code and at work. I guess they just go through moments where people seem to know more than you. Which is not a bad thing. You guys teach me now. I taught everybody back when Godot wasn't a thing, and now we've got all these smart people coming in from Unity and all that, and now they teach me. The tables have turned. The turntables. Okay, so now we can get that, and we can go. We can loop through it for I in upgrade slots. If so only if this slot exists, if there is something occupying the slot, well, right? So now we can have the variable and also have it empty, which is all I was like trying to make sure that we could do. I think that'll work. Okay. It's happy. Let's see if we can add something. It still doesn't get added. Now we are calling this function when we set the gonna pass in. What are we doing? Upgrade to change. Uninitialize. So we do the same exact thing. This really shouldn't be an issue. We are getting the resource. Set indexed. We are also, if we've got an array, we probably don't need to do that. Now, it could be that the array isn't properly initializing because it is a resource, which means I probably need to manually populate the array, which is super annoying, but it is what it is. I could make it an export variable and then add them all in. Super annoying, because then I can make mistakes. I don't like that. Resources are great, but then when they're like, when you need stuff like that, it's so annoying. I bet you that's what it is. So where's the initialize upgrades? I bet if I just print I, it's just gonna be null for everything. Null. Yeah, I need to actually like set that at runtime, which is okay. It's okay. We can create a function. It's just annoying that it doesn't work off the bat. So we can come down to the resource and we can create a function called populate upgrades. because that's what I'm going to do. Populate upgrades. And it's going to take an array of upgrades. It's an array. You might want to use breakpoints to check variables at runtime. I could just check what it crashed. You're right. You're 100% right. I'm so lazy. I know it's going to crash, and so I just run it and crash it. Like, if you know it's going to crash, the crash point is the breakpoint. No, but you're correct. I could do that. How long have you been using Godot? I've been using it since 2020. I started getting serious with Godot when the pandemic hit. I made a game during the pandemic. I had a day off from work every week. I wasn't it sounds really, actually I shouldn't say that. I was going to say I wasn't fortunate enough to be able to like just not have a job. And it's a very privileged position to be able to say something as dumb as that, because my government was just like throwing money at people that didn't have employment. But the opposite is true. I was very fortunate to keep my job. Hovering over your mouse on the variables. More for when it's not crashing, but still doesn't work. Especially hovering your mouse on the variables. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. But yeah, so I had a day off. I only worked 4 days a week during the pandemic, and I just like learned how to use Godot in that time. All right. Okay, populate arrays. So basically, I just have to manually. It's so annoying. Upgrades dot append. Actually, you know what I should do? Upgrades equals this, and it's going to be site upgrade and group upgrade. And then any I have to add, I'm going to need to do as I go. Lovely. Cool. And then I just need to make sure I call this function in the weapon state machine. So on the initialize, right here. So we know at this point there is a weapon. Learn Godot mainly because it's the only viable option in my country. Interesting. Is there a reason, like, is there clauses within, are you Russian? It's about, actually, my brain just like hopped to that, I guess. But there's got to be sanctions, right? Because otherwise there'd be no reason for you. But yeah, I mean, it's the power of open source. That's cool. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to know. If you don't want me to know, it's all good. But yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of open source, right? Like, corporations, governments, dumb things your government does, all that stuff, it can all just get out. And we can just live freely based on what's available on the internet and what people make. Who needs borders? Initialize. I want to go to weapon slot. But I'm skipping this. Sorry, I'm just cooking. I'm cooking. It should be okay. I need to go weapon slot dot weapon. And then we're in there, so we can just call populate upgrade. Oh, it wants the array. Iranian, Unreal, CryEngine, anything that needs weird legal or royalty contracts is not viable. Damn, man. Yeah, open source is really the best. It's the best. Breaks down borders. It's like we don't get to choose like where we're from, you know? But open source doesn't care. Socialism is the best. Populate upgrades. I guess I'm going to need to go... Maybe I don't have it take upgrades array. And I wasn't calling it anyway. I was calling the wrong thing. So we don't need to have it take anything. And now it should just be fine. Great. Let's do it. Let's run this. Getting closer. Null, null. It's still nothing. What am I checking? It's damn convenient. Godot just works. No weird launches. Internet. Yeah, I mean, I love it for that. Like the fact that you don't have to spend time upgrading or like downloading or anything like that. It just makes it so much like lighter, and it's like you can just start it up and start making something rather than being like, oh, I have to make a project. I have to choose the shader. It's like, nah, man. I just make game. I don't care about the shader, the workflow. I don't want to download like 100 gigabytes or whatever it is for Unreal. Do I have Unreal installed on this computer? I have the Epic Games launcher. Yeah, I probably do. I know when I first made this machine, I installed all the engines, but I don't really use them. Oh, well, yeah, of course it's like, it's null. It doesn't matter. Yeah, actually, kind of crazy. Because, okay, so I initialize it, but I'm also making, if there's nothing in them, then don't do this. But like, that doesn't work because we need, what I need to do is probably change what initialize upgrade does. So right now it's taking the weapon slot. A lot of this problem is to do with the flow of the code, right? So we are calling initialize upgrades and we're passing the weapon slot. But instead of passing the weapon slot, we should probably do this here. And then for I in upgrade slots, then if I, because this is called in the creation of the weapon. So like when you load the game or when you pick up a weapon, this is called. If it has an upgrade, then we need to actually initialize the upgrades, right? Slot is not declared. That's okay. It's actually called weapon slot here. So we only want to be calling initialize upgrade on slots that have upgrades on them when you pick up the weapon. Like it doesn't make sense to call them anywhere else. So then I can get rid of this, back this back out, and then this is actually an upgrade. And we'll know it exists. I have to change all this stuff because I'm going, we're connecting the signals, aim down sights, connect. So sight upgrade. Let me think about what I'm trying to do here. We don't need that anymore. We said sight upgrade. Interesting. So what am I doing here at the bottom here? I'm setting it and then I'm initializing it. Well, that's okay. We can just pass it in. And instead of going aim down sights, we can just go straight to here. Sight upgrade, aim down sights. So it's going to be, this was bad anyway, so I'm glad that we've got a chance to improve it. Slot.weapon, because add upgrade just expected a weapon upgrade. So that's fine, we can just pass it on. In fact, we could just make it one whole like function at this point. It can be the same. One adds the mesh, the other does the signals. That's better. Obviously this needs to pass the upgrade, so it just passes I. And no breakpoints, we're just gonna YOLO. It's still not happy. Initialize upgrade. Oh yeah, okay. So it wants to current weapon slot dot weapon dot. Well, actually, we could just redo this. Right, uninitialize. Does set index return anything? It returns void. Dang it. Okay, so upgrade to change, upgrade to change. Basically, we have to re-get it because it'll be different, right? Because we've changed it. Okay, so now I guess it's good. Uninitialize upgrade, took an upgrade, initialize upgrade, now takes an upgrade. That should be a lot cleaner. Let's see if I've messed up. I'd say it's working. Now, I guess the other test at this point then is to drop the weapon. Is it not droppable? Of course it's not. Okay, well, we'll worry about that later. All right, great. That seems to have fixed the issue. So we can stop printing out stuff. Probably need to work on this particular function. But for now, it's okay. Now we can get back on track. And we can create a whatever, a hand grip upgrade. I probably want to create a function within the upgrade to connect its own signals. Do you know what I mean? So I don't have to list them out. I have to think about that. Because right now, aim down sights, I've made them, like aim down sights for the sights is fine. But for a grip upgrade, we don't need them. But they're still there. Which is a problem. And when you right click, aim down sights. So if we have two, it's kind of going to be an issue, right? It'll probably work because the sight upgrade comes before the other one, but that's the other thing to sort of think about. So how can we create a function to connect the signal that we want on this thing? We could check its type. So we could loop through. We go in initialize upgrades. We could say if sight upgrade, connect these signals. The problem there is that it gets kind of big depending on what we do, how many signals we need to connect. Aim down sights, exit aim down sights. I could list them in the upgrade themselves. That would work perfectly fine, but it's kind of the same thing, just in reverse. You just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have like callables basically listed out. It's all about structure. It's probably going to be a matter of a match. Probably a match is best at this point, right? Will probably not be a problem until you have a million signals. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know it will work. It'll be fine. But what's it going to look like when I have 10 different upgrade types? I think for now, I'm going to just do a match because it's going to be easier, right? Upgrade. And then, like, I'll cook on a way to do it in a more elegant fashion. Upgrade type. I could also just go like class name. Is class, get class. Is get class gonna, it'll probably just return resource, right? Just print it out because I'm lazy. Like, do you use a breakpoint? No, I'm just gonna print to the console. Nothing happened. So I haven't got an upgrade attached. It's a resource, so I can't use the actual class name to do it. So I can just use the type. So we can go match upgrade dot upgrade type, right? Which is string. So I can go site upgrade, I believe it goes, and then I know that, oh yeah, connect these two signals, right, and call this function. See, it's going to be gross in the future if it's a grip upgrade. At the moment, we just need to call the function add upgrade. And then pass on the upgrade. I hate it. And then same here, like it's going to be the same exact pattern for uninitialize. Maybe have a set list of inputs and assign them to upgrades at runtime, so you don't need to check against every upgrade for a given input. I was doing that actually to begin with, and then I changed my mind. Who'd have thought? Maybe I can go back to that. Yeah, so originally, upgrade, it's not underscore in this one for some reason. Can we make it the same? It's going to be a lot easier. What is this? It's like spelt wrong. Getting distracted. So yeah, originally I had, basically I was just calling a function on the weapon upgrade itself. I was passing on the input and just saying like, hey, if you respond to this input, emit this signal. And I just like, I did that instead. But then I didn't like that either because I still had to send that out to every single upgrade, right? But now it's changed a little bit because now you're right though. I could, in the inputs, so I go if aim down sights, I go current weapon sight upgrade. I'm only checking. It's actually pretty interesting. So I could connect those signals and it's not going to matter because I am actually checking against that particular sight and I am calling that function and it's doing the callback with the signal. So I'm kind of already there. Ali. This is a relic from the other thing that I was doing, but yeah. So I could have just like missed that entirely, just gone about what I was doing, and it would have been fine. And I just would have never realized why. I mean, I think it's good to think about because I know I don't like that all of these signals, where am I? Weapon state machine, weapon upgrade. This particular script is not good. I've got weapon upgrades and I've got weapon upgrade. I don't like that. This needs to go. Anyway, I don't like that these signals are on the class weapon upgrade, but aim down sights, right? These should be in the sight upgrade, wherever that is. The signals for the sight should be in the sight upgrade, right? But then, like, I need a way of determining that I need to connect them. And it probably needs to be in callback function. I could. So what I do, here we go. Let's do it. I know it'll work. I'm not, guys, I'm promise I know what I'm doing. I'm a qualified individual. I'm actually not qualified. Don't hire me, but this will work. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to take these. I'm going to chop them out of this. Why isn't it working? I'm going to chop them out of this. delete, delete, delete. Actually, let's be a little bit safer. Let's copy them. Control K, comment them out. All right. And we'll put them in the site upgrade where they belong. Aim down sites already exist in the parent class. No, it doesn't. Hello, save. Okay, thank you. Jeez. Okay, so we've got aim down sites. Now these signals are here, but I need to go like function, connect, connect upgrade signals. Callbacks? I don't know. No, signals is probably clearer. Signals. And it's going to take a weapon manager. It takes a weapon manager, right? Which is, I think, a weapon manager, right? And it returns nothing. It returns void. That's fine. Okay, so here, now we've got a copy of the weapon manager. You know what they say? Call down, signal up. Well, resources don't exist in the node. Resources don't exist in the node hierarchy, so we can just throw that rule out the window. As long as you run ON times, you should be fine. Even with 1,000 upgrades, it wouldn't have a performance problem. No, it wouldn't, and I wouldn't have that many anyway. Yeah, it should be fine. You seem to know more about coding than me. I don't know what ON means. Actually, I do. Well, I have it. It's all about like how many times you process the function, right? So now we can go weapon manager, and now we know the function that we're gonna call back. So we can go, we get the signal, aim down sites, right? And we can go dot connect, and it wants the callable, right? So it's going to be weapon manager dot aim down sites, I believe it's called as well. And that should just work, right? Connect upgrade signals and aim down sites and aim down sites release. All right. Connect that to weapon manager dot aim down sites. Exit aim down sites. Okay. All right. So now we've got the connect upgrade signals function. Realistically, I like this function so much, I think it should exist in the weapon upgrade. It returns void, so it needs to be signaled as passed or signed as passed. Okay, cool. And we'll put a little underscore in front of it because it is in the parent class. And we'll go back to the site upgrade and we'll update that function. More accurately, how processing time scales with the amount of data. Ideally, you want ON for preparing the gun and O1 for using it. Yes. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you only want to be calling functions one time, not looping through everything to work out what you need to do, right? That would be silly. Why would we do that? Can't believe that's what I wanted to do. Weapon state machine. Okay, so now that we're back here, we don't need to call this function. Actually, we do. I take that back. What I need to do in the initialize function, where is it? Initialize upgrades, rather than going match type and like checking each one, yada, 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 or checking against each one, right? So this is the OFN you're talking about, like, right? This, if it was not a site upgrade, then it checks it a grip upgrade and then so on and so forth, and it keeps going down the list until it gets to the one that it needs to be in, right? I still need to think about like adding a mesh if it doesn't exist, but what I need to do, I also need to create a function for disconnect as well. I can remove this. I can remove everything. And I might just comment this out. Comment these two out, really. And we will call the function upgrade dot connect upgrade signals and pass in our self. And that'll connect the signals. We'll add the upgrade. Worst case scenario is ON squared, which is exponential. You get from doing too many recursive checks and going back and forth. That sounds real bad. Let's avoid that. Alrighty. All right. Hey, that chat box works pretty well, eh? It fits everything. Nice. All right. Let's get back to it. So now we can connect upgrade signals, pass in itself, and also we need to create a function called disconnect. Do it here and then we'll pass it back. Disconnect upgrade signals. I could probably just call this disconnect signals and connect signals, but we'll go with this. It takes the weapon manager again. And it's a weapon manager. And it returns void. And I'm just going to copy that and go and disconnect. Alright, and I need to take this and I need to put it in the parent class. Whoa, loud music. Alright, so awesome. Site upgrade has this, save this. And now we can go back to the weapon state machine. Okay, so now we're cooking, right? So let's comment all of this up and we can just call the function upgrade dot disconnect upgrade signals, pass in ourself. All right, great. And remove upgrade. Now let's have a look at this. So right now it's finding an equip upgrade dictionary and we're checking to see if it exists. Okay, so I've sort of already got protection to check to see if it actually returns anything. So equip upgrade, what does that do? It creates a dictionary, it returns a dictionary. What about in site upgrade? Yeah. Okay, so if it hasn't been implemented, it returns null. It should be fine. Cooking spaghetti with sauce. Hey. This isn't, I'm trying to avoid spaghetti by doing all this stuff. I'm trying to make I'm trying to think of a dish. What would be good? I'm trying to make a steak here, not spaghetti. Something you can just eat in one go. You just chop it up nicely. Chicken nuggets. Not spaghetti. Okay, so we've done a lot. Let's see if it runs. Looks all right. Yeah. Seems okay. Okay, I think I did it. I'm trying to make lasagna. Oh, yeah. Exactly. That's what we're trying to avoid spaghetti code because the jam was spaghetti code. Now, when we try to do it, we're using like a resource. I used like a singleton to pass out all the different upgrades for all the different, like the player, the weapon, the enemies. Like there was debuffs that you could give the enemies as a choice. And like, it was all just controlled by a singleton. It worked. But I could see it definitely getting messy. Okay, so let's, this shit annoys me. So let's just put some underscores in front of things. So I can get rid of some of my warnings. They're driving me crazy. Upgrade dictionary was never used, but it was assigned a variable. Yes. Weapon manager, okay, we've addressed that. Equip dictionary. Was used but never assigned a value? Excuse me? Whatever. Get out of my face. Error is... Oh, saved. Yeah, okay. That's fine. That's actually a legit error. Or a legit warning. Weapon manager. Is never used. UI control active. Oh yeah, okay. So that might need to be looked at in the future. Narrowing conversion. Should be a float. I guess. FOV is a float. Can't read this. Pop it out. FOV is a float. Correct. The more you know. This function freaking sucks, bro. Gotta get rid of it. To be fair, a lot of commercial games are mostly spaghetti code, but if customers don't notice. Yeah, if it runs, it runs. It doesn't have to be that way. I guess I agree, because it ultimately doesn't matter as long as it works for you. But I guess because I know people are watching, try to do like a semi-decent job. And also I just think it's good for like in terms of improvement. I'm trying to get better because a lot of criticism in the last couple of, like in the last 6 months on my coding style in my videos. So just trying to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, especially because I'm not educated. Although maybe that's like not such a bad thing. I don't know. Like, I guess I'm a bit of a, like a higher level learning Andy, if that's the word for it. I do think it's good because I have a degree and I like having a degree. Okay, now I've only got 3 warnings. What are they? Was never used, was used but never assigned a value. So what's up with the dictionaries? I don't get it. Do I need to go like equals thingo? It's still very valuable for development itself, especially if you want to make mods, DLC, and long-term maintenance. Yeah, exactly. And I also think like it's good when you start, depending on the feature. Like I'm trying to make something that I can expand upon and use, not necessarily just for weapon upgrades, but I can also repeat this pattern on the player and potentially on other things. Like I want it to be expandable so that I know if I write like something half decent, then I can use it to create a more deep game without a lot of effort. Like if you just did spaghetti code and you were just assigning things, hard typing variables or like whatever it is, just writing functions dedicated. Like let's say for an example, every single upgrade had like dedicated functions and you were having to like write a function for every single upgrade. That would be a nightmare. But if I do it this way, then I can create a lot of variability with little effort. Spend a little time on the effort. What I would say is that I assume that why commercial games end up that way is because of deadlines. I don't really have a deadline, so I can just work at my own pace. Deadlines make everything bad. I routinely cut corners. I probably shouldn't say it. I routinely try to do things as fast as possible at work, and when you try to do things as fast as possible, you make mistakes because we have deadlines. Okay. Please stop yelling at me for having warnings. I don't like warnings. Right, so I just need to go like this. Apparently. Equip. Parameter active is never used. Oh. Who'd have thought? I need to like think about that. Okay, no more grossness. Cool. Okay, so finally we can add a grip. Now that we've cleaned up the code a little bit. Okay. So the UI is actually spaghetti code because I'm just testing. It even has this horrible has a horrible script on it that is the same name as the other script. Just annoys me. Should really have called this weapon upgrade UI, and the script really should be called weapon upgrade UI, so I don't get confused. And then that way I can tell the difference. Okay, so the option button is really the thing that's controlling all of this, which is crazy. Doesn't need this. Got it ready. Basically, I just needed something to like test out equipping upgrades. So all I did was put them in an array on an option list and added them to the option list. And then it just emits a signal when you select it. And I'll probably do the exact same thing for the grip, because like the UI doesn't matter right now. We'll worry about that later. I'll rename this to laser site upgrade button. Right. Duplicate it. Grip upgrade button. Now this is a HBox container. Actually, what I need to do is duplicate the entire thing. So delete that. Duplicate. Rename. Remove the script. Add the script. And I think I've just got it under test UI, because I know that it's actually bad and shouldn't be used, you know? All right. Alrighty. Okay, so let's get in here and just basically copy the code. In fact, it can really just be the same. It doesn't really need to be different at all. It's fine. Spaghetti code here, but not where it matters. So it's got a weapon upgrade, it's got an array of weapon upgrades, it's got current weapon. Right, so we add items, that's fine. And then inspect weapon. That signal needs to be connected from the player, from the weapon manager, that's fine. And then on item selected, we emit the upgrade to the weapon up manager. That's fine as well. So realistically, we need to, where does this exist in our UI? I can't even see it because it's hidden. Open it up. Okay, it's in a, this should be, let's add a child node and we'll make a VBox and we'll put these inside the VBox. And the VBox can just be centered in the top. That's fine. Theme overrides constant separation, give them a little bit. And then layout, custom, right? And then the anchor point from the top can be like 0.1. Bring it down a bit. That's fine. Alrighty. So we can take this HBox container And we just need to add some items to the equip upgrade. Just make it, it'll just be the grip. One element and item selected -1. Allow reselect. I need to change that on both of them. All right. And the signals. So it's equipped to on item selected, so that should be fine. It should work. Now, the grip upgrade itself doesn't have any signals connected, so realistically it can't do anything. I think it will just add the mesh. Let's see. We'll find out. Doesn't even do that. That's okay. So what is it expecting? Because it really should be that, it should be a little bit more flexible. I want it to be able to do anything, if that makes sense. Spray profile. No. Option button. Player character. Weapon state machine. Excuse me. So we're setting index. We upgraded, change, get indexed. Hey, Chef Games, just want to say thanks for your videos. I've been learning game dev for the first time and they've been super helpful. I'm glad I could help. No problem, Zodi. 78891. Welcome to the stream. Okay, so the upgrade isn't working. Initialize upgrades. I guess I'm not exactly sure it's falling over. Let's put a breakpoint in on upgrade to change get index so I can see what it's returning when I do that. Upgrade to change is null. Interesting. So did I make a mistake? So the weapon upgrade comes. Bone. Right. So what's the problem? It's not there. Let's just double check that the, I still got a breakpoint there. So the set index isn't working actually. So that is a problem that the second upgraded change variable didn't work. Weapon upgrade. Upgrade to change was blank. Which means that there's probably a typo here. I would say that's the most likely scenario because get indexed is kind of flexible. You can pass it junk and it will just work. It returns null if it doesn't find anything. So you better hope that you get the right thing. So I'm going weapon, current weapon slot, weapon, and then it's going to say grip upgrade. Let's just check. Upgrade type is grip upgrade. And we passed it because I saw in the breakpoint that the weapon to upgrade the weapon upgrade was there. Oh, I thought I I'm in Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I'm like in the browser. Good lord. Very important message. All right. Get indexed. Weapon resource. Grip upgrade. You have the array now. So maybe we could... Maybe we could use that. If it was a dictionary as well, we could definitely have a better time trying to locate the right upgrade. Grip upgrade. Interesting. I am not 100% sure. I was fairly confident in that method. Current weapon slot weapon. I don't like that this is hard coded. What are we gonna do? Oh, Angels, she's itching. She's itching. You scratchy face. She's burying her head in the blanket. I don't think she likes it. She wants it to be darker. I have to put it to bed in an hour or so. She's got the double-edged sword. She doesn't want to be, she wants to be close to us, but, she also wants it to be dark. It's like, you can't have both because we're in, like, I mean, I'm not in that room, but, you know, there's people there, they're doing stuff. She's such a whinger. Okay, upgrade to change, set index. This isn't working. And I don't know why. I'm trying to think. I mean, it's got to be in the string, right? It's the only answer. Right? Upgrade to change did come back now. Okay, so it's there. So if I go to remote, world, player character, camera, main camera, weapon manager. I go to the weapon stack, go to the weapon. It hasn't been set. So the initialized upgrade did happen. And that did work. Continue. Execution resumed. And we can't see it. Maybe it's just not visible. Right? Sometimes that happens. So what we can do is check in the scene tree, weapon models, blaster eye, M4A1, slight, hand grip. Nothing there. Now, if I add a laser sight, well, it's not happy. Oh, it's just going to breakpoint. That's okay. Let's resume. And now we have a laser sight. Now if I check the remote, that is actually getting added to the scene. So the hand grip isn't getting added. Now it's not a scene. Perhaps that's an issue for it. Let's just see if that's what the problem is. I'm not getting any errors, which is kind of a tricky one. I guess it's just going to be a Node 3D. What I do is just go grip upgrade 1. No, that's the wrong thing. I can go hand grip 1. Just bring this in. Make local and then make scene root and then delete the rest. The vertical foregrip. And I'll just reset the transform on the position. Oh, it is a reset. Okay, so it's exactly where I want it to be, right? I save, and I can just save it as a vertical foregrip, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, see, laser sight, I think just works, eh? Holographic sight has a scene as well. Okay, so maybe it does need to be this way. Upgrade resources. Grip upgrade. I pass that to it. And let's see. It might work, it might not. That breakpoint is becoming a bit of an issue. I wonder if it's in the scene. I'm actually watching this in the background while making your own game. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad. I am for A. Hand grip still doesn't have anything in it. And it really should. So, perhaps I've overlooked something. I know that function is being called. Okay, let's go back. Now, there's not a lot implemented. So perhaps the problem is what I'm expecting to get add upgrade. So it's expecting an upgrade dictionary. That's what it is. This function hasn't been implemented yet, and it really needs to be, because it needs to pack up the information here into something that's readable. So I totally forgot that. So if I look at the site upgrade, I mean, really, could this be something that is implemented at a lower level? Realistically, like, perhaps this needs to be on the weapon upgrade. Like, equip dictionary. And see, now that the bone and the upgrade mesh are like, yeah, okay. I think I know what I was thinking, which is that I was thinking, I don't know exactly what's required for each item. And then perhaps it's like difficult, but if we make these, we'll go down this path for now. If it becomes a problem, that's okay. Let's go to site upgrade. We need the bone and the upgrade mesh. Because I didn't want to assume that they all had one, right? But maybe they will have that information. Okay, so that should be all I have to do. I no longer need to implement this function for every single upgrade that I make. Run the game. Upgrade mesh. Oh, right. Okay. It already exists in its parents class. I forgot to update. I'm not done yet. How could I forget? These no longer need to exist. Comment them out for now. And I also forgot to go in and update each of the sites. Upgrade type. Oh, it kept the information, just moved it down. Dude, how good is Godot? I like how like literally nothing else is filled out. Yep. Okay. Awesome. Works. Well, it crashes. Add child on null instance of null instance. Progress is progress, guys. Add child mesh. So the pack scene is not working. Why isn't it? Node. The path is no good. Why not? Did I change the name of it? Dunno. This works for the other ones. Weapon, it says weapon models, blaster, and this one says camera, lean pivot. Okay. It's too deep. How can I fix that? How did it work with the other ones? Like it goes all the way back to the parent, but these ones don't. I guess I can break them just as easily. Weapon models, blaster, M4A, sight. Because I was editing them on the weapon manager. That's how you got to do it, which I don't like, but we'll roll with it for now. Grip upgrade. Grip upgrade. So you do this instead, which is kind of dumb. We'll work on that. Hand grip. And then if you just close this, you open it here, it'll give you the correct path. That's kind of a problem, but we'll worry about that later. Oh look, it worked. Might need to position the mesh a bit better, but I don't have an option for none, so I have to just take it off to see it get added. Control Z. Deleted the wrong thing. Clear that. Okay, so now we can go add a hand grip, add a laser sight, say like that. That's pretty cool. Like that's kind of the entire goal of everything that we're doing here. And now you've got the hand grip, which looks ridiculous. This is going to suck when it comes to implementing a mesh, like a rig. This is absolutely going to suck. I'm going to need to like set up poles and stuff and whatnot. Bro. I'm going to have to hire someone to do it for me. I have to pray that the government gives me a grant to keep developing. Otherwise, I'm not doing that myself. I can't do it. I'm just not that kind of guy. Vertical foregrip. Have a look at the position of this. Looks pretty good from this side. Oh, you know what it is? Delete. Classic error. It's on the wrong flippin' layer. Great, looks awesome. Okay, let's implement the other one and then add some ways to improve the spray. So what we need to do is create another grip upgrade. And we can just duplicate this one. Grip upgrade 2. hand grip 2. And then it's a grip upgrade, and the scene can change. I'm going to try and just pass it the hand grip 2 GLB, see if that works, and then come back to the world and no, the player character in the UI, just add that one into the grip upgrade 2. Hit play. Alright. Hey, DDNSG, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. It's been a bit of a quiet one on Twitch today, but I'm glad you're here. Alright, so the same exact issue. I'm definitely going to need to think about implementing a function to do this for me, because I'm having to create a scene for every single model that I want to add in. It's fine right now, but might pose a problem later on. So let's create that. 3D. Drag this bad boy in. Make local. Make scene root. And delete. And change its visual layer to layer 20. And then save scene, angled foregrip 2. Save, and then we come back all the way to, let's just delete some stuff. Player character. And we take a look at the grip upgrade 2. And its scene is, instead of that, needs to be angled foregrip. Now when we run, it should show up properly. Yeah, it looks good. I don't know whether these are meant to show up on the weapon. I'll have to research that. But like being able to switch between the two is pretty cool. Now I know in other games they like influence the left, the right, and the up and the down. I don't have that technology yet. But I can reduce the overall amplitude. I'll have to look into like different ways that we can do that, you know? Okay. Alrighty. Alright, let's see if we can get this callable function to work. So at the very start of the stream, I set up a function within the spray profile called update spray multiplier. So basically we can just pass a multiplier and reduce the amount of the spray. And I'm going to turn it into a laser because it's set to 0.01, which means we're going to reduce it by like minus like a lot. We're going to bring it down to 0.01% of what it is. So it'll be very small. So now we need to start thinking about what function is this? It's the player character. Main camera, weapon manager. So the question is, when we add the upgrade, or when we initialize, we've got a connect upgrade signal. We actually don't have anything right now for manipulating the current weapon. So we can do that by creating a function in the upgrade itself, because that's probably the easiest way. Update. I mean, it could just be called upgrade values. Didn't know you have your Twitch in your link tree. You don't? Oh yeah, I haven't updated my link tree in about 2 years. Thank you for letting me know. Is my link tree on Twitch? Is that where it is? I guess it must be. I put that in like my TikTok and Instagram, but I have like 100 followers. So, but yeah, thank you for letting me know. I should do a little checkup on that. How do I view my page? It's on Twitter. Ah, Twitter. Ah, yes. Let's have a look at my link tree. I've got join the club, which goes to a Ko-Fi that I no longer use. I'm on Patreon now. I've got my YouTube, which is fine because that's my YouTube channel. So that's never going to change. Skillshare, which is crazy. I haven't even put my latest videos on Skillshare, so why bother with that? Latest video, it's probably a dead link, right? Making a photo album. Yeah, okay. How old is this video? This would be the last time I updated it. 31st of January 2022. So I guess I was like reasonably active and keeping it up to date.
UQ Open Day is your...
Shush. Dude, that was such a fun project. And then we've got Itch, Google Play, Twitter. Okay. And it's pink for some reason. 3D Artisan, hello, how are you? Why is I need to like fix this up. I guess it's a good way to see how far you've come. Yeah, for real. Like it stopped being helpful. Like I actually don't think it directed much to my channel anyway. But yeah, that's crazy. Do you want to subscribe? I am subscribed. Yes, I definitely should make that better. I could probably make my own. Ooh. Did you find me from Twitter? That's awesome. You get like my little tweets. I should probably, can you like post shorts on Twitter now? I know that they wanted to go into video. I could post my shorts to Twitter and maybe I'd get more followers. Something like that. Doing fine. Dealing with a weird YouTube bug. What's YouTube doing to you? Thankfully not. Oh, okay. Oh well. But you can scroll through videos like shorts. Okay. I guess it's still landscape then. Upgrade. Upgrade upgrades? Upgrade weapon. And this is actually just going to take a weapon. There's no sense. Okay. Yeah? Yes. Okay. Okay. So we're upgrading the weapon. That means that in the... Close that. In the weapon... Sometimes YouTube just stops sending you live chats, no matter what you do. Interesting. Yeah, YouTube can be a bit funky sometimes when it comes to lives. I'm basically only on YouTube because it's my biggest platform. Otherwise, I wouldn't live stream to it, to be honest. It's like, whatever. It's kind of, I like it as a platform, but I don't like as a, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm watching someone live, I like to do it on YouTube, but as a person who is streaming, I don't like to stream on YouTube. Strange, I know. Delete this. Sometimes YouTube just stopped. Oh, I reread that already. Silly me. Okay, function. What's it called? Update upgrades? Upgrade weapon? Jeez, I've forgotten already. It just happened for Ali. Probably why he has been quiet for so long. Ah, okay. Get back here, mate. Yes. You know what it is? Like, I don't chat. That's my thing. I'm a lurker. I'm a big fat lurker when I'm watching other people. Okay, upgrade weapon. What am I doing in this side upgrade? Get this. 2k points. Goose Fat. How you been, man? How's the country treating you? Is it cold out there? Weapon resource. Grip upgrade button. Grip upgrade. Jeez. Here's the one I need to upgrade. Okay, so we need to take the weapon. Now I've got my bearings now. Weapon. Dot. You're good. That's great. I'm doing okay. I've almost reached my goal today. We want weapon spray. Dot. Ooh, actually, interesting problem. Hold here for a second. This can't return anything. Just type pass. Go back to the weapon manager. So interesting thing about when I access the shoot. So the spray equals spray profiles, and it's actually an array, or is it a dictionary? It looks like it's a dictionary, right? Interesting. Maybe renaming upgrade to attachments will help you better naming so you won't have weapon upgrade upgrades. I call the function upgrade upgrades. It makes total sense to me. I've got, I don't know if it's still there. I have literally a variable called speed equals underscore speed in my player character. It's so fucking dumb, but it's just too funny. Speed equals underscore speed, or did I change it? I must have changed it. I had speed equals underscore speed, and it was just like, I must have sat on stream. I was like, what am I doing here? And then I removed it because I was like, this is the dumbest thing ever. And it turned out that it was necessary, and I'm just really bad at naming variables. Upgrades to attachments. Yeah, it's probably a good idea considering that they are just attachments for weapons at the end of the day. How many days roughly until Goose Gun? You're asking the wrong question, Goose Fat. It's not how many days until Goose Gun. It's how many months until Goose Gun. And it's at least 6. No, I could probably do it quicker than that. I don't know. See, the thing is, like, I'm not going to add visuals into the game until I've like fleshed out the upgrade system, the enemies. There's so many things that I'm going to add before I add weapons. But maybe we can just make a Goose Gun for fun instead of doing other things. Maybe I'll do a special one for you. Okay, so upgrade weapon. I'm passing the weapon resource, but actually what I need to do is get a copy of the spray. It's kind of a problem. Let me just think about how this works. State machine. So when we initialize, we actually add the spray profile. It is a dictionary. Why do I do it this way? I instantiate it. You know why? Because it's an object and it's not a resource. And it needs to be an object because it has like things in it that exist in the scene. What's the game? What is the game that all the systems are for? I'm trying to make like a looter shooter, I guess is the best way to call it, or like a wave shooter. That's about it. So the idea is like you go out, right now I'm saying that the levels are going to be procedurally generated. I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. But like imagine you have like a base, you go out, you like do something, kill zombies, kill aliens, kill something, and you get a reward, and then you can come back and you can work on your weapon, you can like upgrade your abilities, and then go back out and do same thing, rinse and repeat until you get to the final level. What design structure do I use? Do you mean like in terms of coding? or just toggle their visibility? Do I add the attachments as scenes at a fixed place? Yes, I do. Yeah, I can show you that. I'm not calling that function yet, so it should be okay. So you can see here, right? I've got the laser sight. I choose that, it shows up. I choose the hand grip, it shows up. I am actually instantiating those objects, and the resource, if we close this, and if we go to, say, grip upgrade number 1, so it's got a couple of bits of information. It's got the name, which is not that important, and the type, but it's also got a mesh, and it's got I'm calling it bone, but realistically, it's just a node. The thing is, I don't know what it's going to be. I should just call it path, because basically, I've set that path to be this node here. Now you can't really see it there, but if I open up this scene, I've got the M4 and I've got a hand grip position, right? And so I know that if I bring in the angled foregrip, say, it's going to spawn exactly in the right spot. And then same for a sight, that's up here on this rail. So it's actually pretty cool, because it means that I give the option to potentially move those things around. Not that that's really going to make a difference, but you could say, like, give the player the ability to move it forward or back. I don't know why. It probably isn't going to be something I'm going to do that way, but I could if I wanted to. And then inheritance, data-driven strategy, and listener patterns. Yeah, I do. I'm doing a little bit of inheritance because it's easier to keep everything a little bit more condensed down. Because if I wasn't doing inheritance, then the grip upgrade would need to have like the site upgrade information. Like, it doesn't need any of this information, but like then it is also using some componentry as well, because this resource can be added to the weapon and modified, you know, and it doesn't need to know about it. It just does signals. How large is the project? No idea. The biggest piece of code is the weapon manager, and it's about 300 lines. But like, there's tons of other smaller scripts, so I don't really know, to be honest. It's probably the thing that connects it all up. So yeah, in terms of like, these are just components, and I just have to actually call the functions, and I don't have to worry about knowing what they are, because that's super annoying. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to think about that kind of stuff. It's too hard. It's much easier to do it this way, and I think people prefer it anyway. So, hi, Mr. Okay, so from Ferenc, I'll go with that. Regarding the animations, people guns, what do you suggest? Should I use Blender animations, or should I just play with the game engine, or should I do the animations programmatically? It really depends on the project, and it also depends on you and what your abilities are. So as an example, I have done all the animations for this project in Godot, but there's no arms, right? If you wanted arms, you're going to need to use Blender. There's no way around that. There's no way to animate that with bones in Godot right now. So you need to do Blender if that's what you want to animate the movement, but I need to do it for an example. A character hits an enemy with a sword. Yeah, so you can, what you need to do is have like a base animation. I can show you an example of this. Quit to project list. Save and quit. So I have a project where I've got procedurally animated FPS, procedurally generated FPS rig, but there's like a base animation. Inheritance is kind of necessary in game dev. ECS is terrible to deal with. Sometimes it just makes things a little bit easier. And like, it really just depends on what you're trying to do, right? If you're trying to achieve certain things, then it's just easier. We'll wait for this project to load up. But I can show you an example of where I've mixed the two. So I've got an animation, and I'm also using, what is it called? IK, inverse kinematics, to make it more convincing. So if I go into 3D, I've got a guy with a pistol, right? And if I check the animation for the MK shoot, right? Use procedural for secondary motions like physics? Yeah, that's correct. So basically that's what I'm going to show here. So if you watch this animation, it's just the movement of the, like the gun, right? The finger does move a little bit, but it's not really seen. So I just didn't bother animating it. So that's all this does. So when you shoot the pistol, that's the only animation that plays. But if I run the game, and I switch to it, looks like some of the animations are a bit broken, you'll see that there is a kickback, right? So a lot of that is done with IK. So the inverse kinematics is set up that the hand will rotate backwards based on the force, right? How reliable is Godot? It's really reliable. I had issues when I was using Linux, but it was to do with me. It wasn't a problem with Linux or Godot. It was the way I set up my particular project, or no, not project. It was the way I set up my particular build of Linux. So Godot's really great. I switched to Windows for streaming just because it was simpler. And I wanted to have like a separate streaming rig anyway. The new trait system. Yeah, things are going to get a lot better in Godot 4.3 for sure. Yeah, so that's just an example of where you can combine the two, having IK, and you sort of have this like I have this like node container set up so that like things are positioned correctly and all that kind of stuff. This looks weird because it has a shader on it. Thank you very much for the example. You were kind. No worries, man. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so let's get back to work. Oh, did you guys hear that? Cracked my chest. From personal experience, mostly has problems on Android models. Yeah, right. So that's a good point. I've made one Android game and it was a very long time ago and I haven't done it since. Alrighty. Okay, so we got to the point where we were trying to update the site. And the reason that we had to sort of store it in a dictionary is because it can't be instantiated under the weapon, which is pretty funny. So we need to actually, rather than passing in the weapon slot, we actually do need to pass in the weapon manager and then get the current weapon slot weapon name. And okay, so this is what, good Lord. We can just pass in the weapon manager and we can get to this, right? So in initialize upgrades, having a list of 50 projects of just prototypes of isolated mechanics is truly a Godot classic. Yeah. Yeah, they do good like that. So we've got add upgrade. So I'll probably do it here because I feel like that's more sensible. Oh, do we initialize? So initialize upgrade. We are calling the function there, so maybe it makes more sense to do it here. Upgrade dot upgrade weapon. It is a bit of a silly naming convention. It wants a weapon resource, but it's not going to take that. I got to change it. To the weapon manager. Change it to the weapon manager. Because I need to get to that dictionary. Does it need anything else? It does need... I suppose I can just query the current weapon. Because that's what you're going to be upgrading. Like in this particular case, I need access to that, but... You know what I mean? Like right now, for the grip, I need to know what the current weapon is, but for other ones, it might not be that important. Upgrade function argument 1 should be a resource. No. I changed it, man. I probably need to go to grip. Need your opinion? How long with your skills it takes to make a game like Lethal Company? We could probably, if you know how to code, I was capable, I would say, hand pink waving. Hello. I would say that depending on your skill on coding, then like maybe 2 years. I don't know. It really just depends on you, right? Like, do you know how to do networking? Doesn't match the parent signature. Come on, bro. Hello. Let's try reopening it. It's still not happy. The hardest part is multiplayer. Sound design. Yeah. I haven't really dabbled in sound design, but multiplayer is really the biggest thing, right? You're going to have a hard time with that. Grip. Just delete it. Wait till you have to deal with NAT punch through. I don't even know what you're saying, man. It sounds really hard. I tried to make it a multiplayer game and I gave up. Parent signature upgrade weapon resource void. It's honestly not even that anymore. So what's the deal? I changed it to weapon manager. Piece of crap. Oh, Angie's adjusting her bed. What's she doing? Not happy. All right. Cool, cool, cool. How'd you do that with the chat ink dough? I would like to tell you that like I modified Godot so it looks like it's a part of like the chat is inside Godot, but actually it's just a layout. So it's fake. I think it'll take me about 2 months to make it. 2 months in polishing. Multiplayer is a lot easier with ENet or Fishnet. I mean, if you know what you're doing, I think it's fine. The reason I quit, so I tried to make a multiplayer game and I gave up because I learned how to do networking and I realized that I would need to rebuild the project from the ground up. And I just said, not for me, no thanks. You know? Where was I? Oh yeah, okay, so that wasn't not loading properly. Yeah, I tricked you all with my layout. But I work 10 hours a day. That's a lot, man. Grip upgrade. That's a lot of hours. Okay, finally, it's going to let me do this. So we're going to get access to the weapon. To be able to play online with someone over the internet, you have to somehow expose someone's IP, a free port, which would require hacking their network somehow, which we call NAT punch through. Blech. Blech. Sounds horrible. Yeah, you have to think of, if you make a multiplayer game, you have to think of multiplayer from the beginning. And I say, like, I'm like, oh, maybe this could be multiplayer, but it's like, yeah, you'd have to rebuild everything from the ground up. So maybe it can't be. Spray profile, I guess. Onto weapon manager dot spray profiles. probably needs to have an S on it because it is the dictionary. And then the one that we need to target will be the current weapon. So how do we pull that up? How do we do it in the actual state machine? I'm guessing we just query it against, because it's the name, right? So much stuff. Okay, so spray profile, current weapon, weapon name. So we just do that. And then we go get spray. Okay, so we call it. Yoink. People usually have to pay for a server or host the Steam API if they don't want to do punch through. Yeah. If I was going to do it again today, I'd use Steam. That's what all the cool kids do. I wouldn't do, like, I was experimenting. It was good as a learning experience. I learned how to set up a server. I learned how to host. I learned how to run Godot on a server, which was pretty fun. Push things to it, like SSH into the server, and like set up my project in the server and then host it there and like all that kind of stuff. So like I learned a lot when I did it, but it was like, it was a lot, man. Server authoritarian game is much easier. And I made an FPS server with server oh, you've done it before. Why are you asking me then? To push myself and learn. Yeah. Oh, so you actually have done it. Did you like publish it anywhere, or is it just like a project that to learn? So maybe I could just go. Brain profiles. Current weapon slot. So it's going to be weapon manager.current weapon slot. So now we have the current weapons spray. So now we can actually call, I should also specify the type on this. Spray profile. I can say spray profile dot random upwards lock, update spray profile, and the amount, which is our spray amount. Okay. Just to learn how games like CS work. Yeah, that was what I was doing as well. I didn't get very far. I got to the point where I was trying to, when I started to learn about server authorization, what do you call it? Server authoritarian. I realized that what I had made wasn't that. And to do that, I'd have to change everything. You can put live chat in Godot. The plugin system has that covered. Does it really? Maybe I should do that. So it actually is there rather than just an optical illusion. A plugin system? Dude, that's classic. Classic Godot. What's it called? Twitch chat? Chat? Twitch? Would it be like specific, very simple Twitch? Or is it YouTube specific? Live? Be Live OBS server? 3D Artisan, tell me, how do I do it? Is it just Twitch? Oh, Rothia Tome. I know her, she's on Twitch. The Godot editor is just made out of the same UI nodes to make your game with, so you can add your own nodes with the main UI. I mean, yeah, Rotio Tome has done it already. That's very cool. I meant coding the plugin yourself. You meant coding the plugin yourself? What do you think I am? Someone who knows how to code? She's done it already. She's already done it for me. Although it's Twitch only. I would have to check because I use Restream. I am interested in it because I don't like displaying the origin. I don't want it to say YouTube. I want it to say like whatever. I don't want people to know where they're like writing from. That is cool though. Connect your Godot games to Twitch chat effortlessly. Log in with just one line of code and read messages instantly. And provides a very simple interface with the Twitch API to write messages, timeout users, and grant VIP status and more. Yeah, it's cool. Because then I could do stuff like have stuff run around on the screen and whatnot. Per month. Yeah. Online games are really hard. Just use Steam. Steam is peer-to-peer though, isn't it? It's not actually server. I wouldn't know. Okay, focusing. I gotta get this done. It's 10 o'clock. Spray profile? Theoretically, should work. Am I calling the function? Initialize upgrades. I am calling upgrade weapon. Okay. Okay, let's observe the spray and see if it changes. Okay, so this is a full clip. That's what the spray looks like. So if I grip, hand grip 1, and it did not change. Yeah, I actually have like really tough issues when it comes to like focusing on doing the job, but it's kind of like I like it that way. Like I'm the same when I'm at work. Like I'd rather just like be distracted, to be honest. I don't think it improved. Okay. And I wasn't getting any like. I wonder. I can query that. I can just go to the spray profile and just print this function value here. Steam relay the connection to not expose your IP. Yeah, so it's like pretty good. Free. It's just not that good for certain kinds of games, right? Like I guess cheating is more easy to do if it's peer-to-peer. Is that correct? I always just assumed. Weird. Random spray. I need to implement this function here. And rather than part spray, that needs to be random spray multiplier. The one thing I do have is someone else to hold a hard deadline. Maybe see, I have the opposite issue. If I have a deadline, my motivation just goes out the window. Like I took up some sponsors. I was doing really well. I was making like a video a week, and then I got like a sponsor offer, and I was like, yeah, I can do that. Let's do it in a month. So I have a month to make the video. I stopped making weekly videos. I could barely work on that video. I had no ideas. I didn't know what to do. And for like a whole month until like 2 weeks before, I started thinking about it 1 week before. Like I needed to have it done 1 week before. So like the week before the deadline for submitting it for approval, I started working on it. It's like, what's wrong with me? So silly. And now I just don't even post videos. It totally just killed my motivation. Weird like that. Okay, I think this will work now. Let's do a test. That one looked really good. Why are they all suddenly better? Double-edged sword, yeah, it is sometimes. I actually haven't been diagnosed or anything like that, so I'm hesitant to say that I have anything like that, but, you know. Okay. Because one of the players is the host, and it depends on how you code it. The game could send all the information to all the players and accept all data received as genuine, which is how they get hacked easily, yeah. Quadruple squared. Get spray multiplayer. Why did you make everything better all of a sudden? Wim times 1 minus multi-sprayer stat change. It should just return the same number. So right now, random spray. It's set to 4. It should return 4. It's returning 1. Why am I so bad at math? Update spray mode. Get spray multiplier. Its default is 1. Right? Stat change. And down here, I go current spray multiplier, which is whatever you pass it in. And I subtract 1 minus... Oh, this is... I understand why it's dumb now. It should be 0. It should calculate to 0. Current spray multiplier multiplied by 1 minus spray multiplier stat change, which is up here, set to 1. So, perhaps I'm misinterpreting. So I'm going to do a little bit of a printout so I can get some information. Current spray. Can't be bothered doing a breakpoint. Current. And then at the end, I just want to print the new multi. New spray. And delete this. It's returning 1. I know that's the answer, but... Current spray, new spray. Okay. So it's definitely doing what we thought it was, but we don't want it to do that. So... current spray multiplier, random spray multiplier. So we pass in the current. It's 4. Do you have criticism on the Godot engine? Things you wish they fixed? I really don't like the way that they handle 3D animations. Like, I feel like, and I don't know because I haven't used Unity or Unreal, but from what I can see in terms of changing 3D skeleton animations in Unity and Unreal is like actually something you can do. You can just like have a skeleton and then make the animation in Unreal or Unity. You can't do that in Godot. And it's super annoying because like Blender is good. Blender is great. Sometimes you don't need Blender. You know, sometimes you want to be able to see it in the engine. Sometimes you just want to tweak something. But like the last thing you want to do, I was having this for like ADS. I couldn't quite make sure that the animation in Blender matched what was going to show up in the in Godot because the FOV was slightly different and there was IK and all that kind of stuff. And if I could animate in Godot, then I would just do that animation in Godot, right? Like, God, let me do bone animation. That's about it. That's my biggest pain point. Everything else is fine. But then I don't do anything too complicated. yet. Okay. Okay, why is my math so bad? I go current spray multiplier. So this should equal 0. 1 times, like 1 minus spray multiplier stat change should equal 0. Right? Am I crazy? The rendering physics pipeline is too abstracted? Yeah, maybe. So if you run into trouble when trying to do something really complex, you can also pass variables by reference. You can't pass variables by reference. Yeah, I guess that's just more of an interpreted language thing, right? Or can Python do that? I don't know. Yeah, new spray is 0, right? So like this bit of math here, and what is current? Why is it returning 1? Am I crazy? What the heck? Current spray multiplied by, like, this entire math should equal, if it's set to 1, should equal whatever it was given. It equals 3. What the heck? Bomb ass. That's got to be it, right? Bomb ass. It's always bomb ass. If in doubt, add brackets. I think it's working better. I'm so confident. I should confirm that that's correct. In C#, not really a language issue, it's just not implemented. You do get to pass arrays by reference, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, okay, that works. C#. So C# can do it, Godot can't. Or GDScript can't, yeah. And that is pretty... What I do to get around that is to get indexed. Is my latest fun little function call. I really like that because then you can get a that's not really a reference though, it's just a path, right? I don't know. It's kind of the same thing, right? It's not just location in memory though. So delete. Okay. Prosto Kotlio has posted a face. Hello, how are ya? How's it going? Yeah, we're doing all right. I'm almost finished for this little session, and I think I've got it working. So right now, let's test the spray. It looks pretty big, and now we're gonna add the hand grip, and it's gonna turn into a laser, which is obviously a design choice. It works. That's the main thing. Cool. So now we can go to grip 1 and we can say that it, say it's like a 70% decrease. Is it inverted? I think maybe the math is inverted. Like, is that a 30% improvement rather than a... I have to like double check the math. This is a laser. And this... I can't really see an improvement at 0.7. I probably need to bring back those printouts. Okay, so at 0, we have 4 and 4, right? We had hand grip 1. It's 4 and 2.8, so it is an improvement. It's hard to see though. You told me before, but that you built a plugin in Godot. What language did I use, and what did the plugin do? I can show you, I think. Quit the project. So I use GDScript for the whole thing, and the whole idea of the plugin was to... I should probably just download it, eh? What's it called? Audio Logic. Can't even remember the name of my own plugin. I need to create a project. This is in C, Godot FPS controller. That's in the Git repos though. Audio Logic. It's a small project, sure, it should be okay. So basically, I was trying to make the same thing as Dialogic, but for audio. And to be honest, it's like, you know, not that you know, people don't need this. But I always thought it's cool. Okay, so you know, like in games like what's a game? BioShock, System Shock, all the shocks in what was the game I was playing the other day? Dude, I don't even remember. Like, it's a very common thing to like pick up audio logs, right, in your game. And so what I wanted to do was make a plugin that basically allowed you to edit a log name. So you could create a log. This is some text and this is a test. And then you could load up the music, or not the music, but you could load up the audio. Say you had like an audio project. Go back. Add-ons, Audio Logic, example audio. So you could add in some audio log tests, like audio, I don't know what to call it. You could add your log that you wanted to play, and then you could also have like insert effects, your end effects. So basically all the effects that you play, like the sound of cassette being put in. So a lot of them, so an insert effect, like the cassette. I don't know if you guys will be here. Let me stop the music for a second. So like that. Let me turn it up. And then you could choose your end effect. In this case, there's just like the cassette. I've got two basically in the project as an example. And then you've got like the background thing that you want to play. Maybe it's just audio crackle. And then the bus. And the biggest thing was the bus. So I implemented a way of creating buses. So you've got like a bus effect stack. So in your audio, you'll have like Audio Logic and Audio Log. And this has like a bunch of different effects to change the way that sounds. So I can play a preview track. I'll load up the Audio Log test 1, right? And I've got the default, which is high pass crunch. And if I play this, it's going to play an audio of me speaking, but sounding like it's coming from like a cassette player. So this is an example audio log. It will be added to the log collected dictionary and can be retrieved from the singleton. And so you can go through and you can change like the high pass filter, the distortion. Maybe you wanted to like just take off the distortion, right? This is an example. And there's not as much. It will be added to the log collected dictionary and can be retrieved from the singleton. And so you can play around with all that kind of stuff within the editor of Godot. And I thought that was pretty cool. And so you could do warm crackle instead as well. Like you could create and save bus effect stacks and load them into the audio bus really easily. I don't know though if double clicking that works. I pass. It still looks like it's loaded up. I guess you just play to find out. This is an example audio log. It will be added to the log. Yeah, it might be a bug. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to do. And then you had a menu editor, like how do you want it to show up? And you could add one if you wanted as a scene and then select it from here. And when you go to look for it, and then same with the in-game player, I had one where it was like a cassette like a little GIF, and then the speaker name would go here. And basically what you created here, where it was like, oh, this is Shafi, and this is the text, right? It's going to show up in, you'll see the picture that you added here. You'll see the name that you put here. The text won't show up. I didn't implement like subtitles, but that's basically what they're for. And so if you run the game, main editor, no. Extras, example, world. So I also made like a pickup system, so you can pick it up and then it says new log collected. Hold F to play.
This is an example audio.
You get the point.
It will be added to the log collected dictionary and can be retrieved from the singleton.
That was the whole thing. I see you being a musician. Yeah, for real. Like, I actually think like the whole bus stack thing could potentially be added to Godot. Like if I knew how to do C++, and I think it would be worth having something where you can just click and load up a stack of like an FX chain, essentially. Like I use Reaper when I'm making, I don't make music much anymore, but when I did make music, I would use Reaper, and it's like you have an FX chain that you can save and you can load. Makes sense, right? You don't have to like go through and stick everything. No, not really. I don't really, I like used to make music all the time. A lot of the music that I play at the start of my streams and stuff is like music that I wrote, but like for game development, I haven't really put much emphasis on that. Maybe if I like actually make a game, I will, but it's not a concern right now. Ooh, that looks bad. But yeah, it was a fun experiment. It's probably not. I'll keep it updated when the when 4.3 drops. I can make a lot of changes to this that'll get a lot easier. Like this doesn't need to be 4 different audio streams. It can just be one, and we can queue them up, right? And then you can have system, I think it's called like a synchronizer, right? So I can just have a synchronizer for the background music. It's just going to be a lot easier. That's cool. Anyway, I think that's me for the day. It's been great. You guys have been good. I'll do the Patreon shout out. It's very quiet without the music. Hit the play button. Right. Right. So, thank you everyone for the support. Go like full screen? No. Thanks for the support, guys. Chips has a Color Pants Rap, Big Green Nike, Jace, Bricky T, YGG, Scoremonger, Mr. Sparkle. I really appreciate it. It makes all the difference for these, for like making games, making videos, making content, all that kind of stuff. I haven't been super active lately, but hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things soon. Other than that, guys, like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. I will see you guys on, what day is it today? It's Tuesday. So I missed Monday. I had something on yesterday. So normally I do Wednesdays, but I think I might go Thursday. And so maybe the stream schedule should be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Because then it's like 2 days and then I just take Sunday, Monday off. I really need to make some long form content. I haven't done that in a bit. But other than that, guys, thanks so much for hanging out. It really makes this a lot more fun. I'll see you guys later. Let's play something a little bit more upbeat. We'll go with Hospitals. Thank you, guys.